You are now listening to the Heroes for Sale podcast, your daily podcast for sports card news and opinions. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Heroes for Sale podcast. My name is Adam. I am your host. So on today's episode, there were two pieces of news that came out in the past few days that I feel like are pretty, I guess they're important. I think they're pretty cool, to be honest. So the first one is Ben Baller, who is one of the artists for the Topps 2020 project, announced that he is going to have an exclusive set. I'm actually going to go to the tweet right here. So this summer, there's going to be an exclusive Topps Chrome edition with Ben Baller designs. I'm not exactly sure. He just tweeted, he said, "I'm very proud to announce that I have my own Topps Chrome limited edition box set dropping this summer. More details soon. Thank you to everyone at Topps." And then he dropped, a pretty cool little graphic thing with all the stuff there. And I originally came into sports cards from a graphic design standpoint. So for me, the designs were what I was most interested in at first. It has definitely shifted to being more interested in the market in general. I think if you listen to the podcast or you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen that I don't talk as much about the design stuff as I used to. The beginning of my Instagram is, if you go scroll back that far, it's basically all design reviews. And to see someone like Ben Baller get his own product like this, I think is a really cool idea. So another designer / artist is Tyson Beck. That's part of the Topps 2020 project. He had his own, actually, I don't think he had his own product, but I think he was the designer for one of the, I don't know if it was the original, but I know he was the designer of the Topps Fire cards, which was like a Target exclusive that, I don't know if they've announced this year's yet, but it's come out for the past 4 or 5 years. And a couple years ago, he was the designer for some of the inserts, and then he designed the base design. I think he's back to just designing inserts now, but it's cool to see Topps bringing in. I think there's kind of two angles here. I think it's cool of Topps to bring in these artists to get more exposure to the cards, but I think it's also cool from a standpoint where they're giving artists the opportunity to create these cards that they can promote. And I think it's I don't know if it's from a standpoint where they're looking at the designs and they're saying, well, our designers and the Topps designers, they've done a phenomenal job over the past few years. I think the designs have been really good. But I don't know if they're looking at it from a standpoint where our designers have been here for X amount of years. We really want to switch it up because we feel like maybe the designs are getting stale. Maybe they're too generic. From that standpoint, I don't know if that's Topps' mindset, but I think bringing in it's the whole thing with the Topps 2020 project in general. I think between all the 20 artists, they have, 4 million total Instagram followers. So, and a lot of them aren't, Tyson Beck is a sports designer, but the rest of the artists aren't really sports designers. Ben Baller is a jewelry designer who, obviously does graphic design, but and they haven't shown what the actual cards are going to be, if they're going to be just so that's the thing. I don't know what they're going to be. I think if I had to guess, they probably will be. They'll probably have the design, and then he'll just take it's either going to, so actually I think it's its own product. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be another curated set. So this sort of gets into what I was talking about yesterday with the Dortmund curated sets, and this is something that Topps has really done, and I'm wondering if Topps is doing this from a sales perspective or if they're doing it from a collection perspective, because they still have all of these other products, which they're coming out with Stadium Club Chrome, and they're coming out with Allen and Ginter Chrome, which I have a feeling like they're going to be moving towards more Chrome cards in the future. Like, I think the base set will always be paper, and then they'll have a top Chrome set, but I feel like they may potentially move into some of these other sets, like the Allen and Ginter, the Gypsy Queen, the Stadium Club. They may be moving all of them to Chrome, and I don't know if that's something where maybe they do it. That's it's a loose prediction. I don't know if that's something that they would think about, but it feels like that a lot of the Chrome products are, I mean, if you look at basketball, a lot of the more popular products are all Chrome. And I'd say, I don't know what the percentage of total Chrome products within the NBA are, but it feels like it's got to be pretty high. Like, obviously, Hoops isn't, Donruss isn't, I think Court Kings isn't. But for the most part, if you look at all basketball and football products, because it's Panini in general, for a majority of their products are all Chrome. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Topps would eventually just make Allen and Ginter. It's not going to be Allen and Ginter Chrome. It's just going to be Allen and Ginter, and the cards will just be Chrome. They just won't even be, it won't have that extension on there. Or maybe it does. I don't know. And I think one thing that I was talking about on Twitter that I think would be, I don't know if they would ever do this. This is a Panini thing, so I'm switching gears a little bit, but I'm going to go back to the Ben Baller thing. I think it would be kind of cool to see a Prism product that is a paper Prism product. And I know that just went like against what I just said, but I think if they did like a Prism product that was paper the same way that they did Optic and Donruss, I think that would sell really well. And I'm not sure if they would do something like that because, like I said, a lot of the stuff is moving over to Chrome. And like if you look at Donruss compared to Optic, it's way more popular. But I think it would also, I think it would be a good idea because now it feels like Prism has gotten really expensive. So if they were to give another option, so if they were able to, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. If they were to give a collector an option to get a Prism card, but a cheaper Prism card, because coming out with more cards isn't going to then make them cheaper. I don't think it would reverse the theory there, but I think if they came out with a product that was basically just a paper Prism card, and I know that Prism itself kind of has that like not chromium, but like the name is kind of slick, and like that kind of goes with the Prism brand because like, and I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they would do something else with Prism because they did just come out with the Prism cards for the blockchain. So it's like it's not like they don't want to use that Prism brand, and they also put Prism into Chronicles, which I think that would be another way that they could potentially, I think if they were to use Chronicles as a starting, I don't know, how am I trying to say this? I think they should use Chronicles as a starting point to try and develop new products. Like, I think they should, I understand Chronicles is mainly used to combine a bunch of different designs into one, and it could either be that they have like a bunch of autos that they have to use, or it could just be that they have a bunch of designs that they have less of. But I feel like if they were to launch products within Chronicles, that would be a way that they could kind of try and gauge the popularity of that specific design in the grand scheme of the market, I guess would be one way to say it. But I think that would be an interesting way to use Chronicles and actually use it in a way that's beneficial to them, similar to the way that I think Topps should use the Topps throwback the clock cards. I think they can gauge the popularity of the players that they're putting in that product to figure out if they want to then put them if they want to get their autographs and put them into a different product, basically, get their autographs, stuff like that. So with back to the Ben Baller stuff. So I think Topps has done a good job as of recently with bringing new people into the hobby and figuring out ways to do that. So that's why I do like this Ben Baller thing. And he's been one of the more, like, his cards have been some of the best in my opinion. And I think going forward, I'll be interested to see it, because we're not even like halfway through Topps 2020 project, which is kind of crazy. I think one of the artists, I think it was F Dot, I think is the person's name. They tweeted out that they had come out with 7 of their cards, and they still had 13 to go. So we're not even halfway through, and now we're seeing some kind of crazy stuff. And I'm wondering if I do wonder if maybe they're not maybe they're making the cards. I wonder what direction. First of all, I wonder what direction they gave the artists, and I wonder if they made all the cards at once, or if they said, we'll do the first few and then kind of we'll figure out where we want to go from there. Because I think one of George Stiff, I think, is one of the other artists, and he came out with his Mark McGuire card, and it was like a cheeseburger. Like, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's hilarious. Also, I think the Ichiro, one of the last Ichiro cards, I forget, I think it was Grotesque maybe, that came out with the card. It was like a Japanese version of the Topps traded card, which, it's fun. It's a really good design, and I'm waiting till, I think I'm going to wait until Tyson Beck's Trout and Tyson Beck's Ichiro design. I think those are the ones I am going to order. I think those will probably be pretty popular too. So the other piece of news that I think is important is Panini announced they're coming out with the first ever Mosaic football set. So this is a scenario where I'm interested to see what Panini's overall plan was with Mosaic, because I think this year specifically, Mosaic kind of it became way more popular than it ever had been. So I'm wondering if this was their plan all along to come out with this. I'm imagining it was, but for Mosaic basketball, the popularity of it, I'm not exactly sure why, but the popularity of Mosaic basketball just blew up. I'm thinking it could be because it became a retail product and became easier to get. But it also, it's a product that just was not even on my radar at all, at the beginning of this year when it came out. So, I saw tons of people breaking it. I saw people talking about it on, Instagram and on TikTok. So, and I got questions about it. I was I don't even know about this product. Maybe I got to look into it more. And I did a break with Bailey Joe Cards. I did one of their box breaks. I think it was I did a group break in one of their couple boxes they did a couple weeks ago. And I mean, the cards do look pretty nice. That's one thing that I think I do like about the product in general, is that the design of the cards is really good. And I think they went with and it could have been part of the plan, but they went with a totally new style design for this year's product compared to some of the previous years. And I'm wondering if it's even an opportunity where if you want to buy these cards, if you want to buy a Luka, or you want to buy, I don't know, Jason Tatum or Donovan Mitchell or a Trae Young, when something like this happens where a product it's very similar, honestly, to what happened with Optic. And it could just be that basketball in general is every product is blowing up. But so that could be the reason why it is. But I think realistically, if I recognize that, I should have then looked into those Luka cards and maybe potentially bought some of them. They did also drop the Prism brand, so it was Prism Mosaic 2017, 2018. I think it launched in 2016, And then this year, it was just Mosaic basketball. There was no prism attached to it. So that also could be another reason why the overall product maybe was more popular. But like I said, so they're coming out with football this year. So we've seen the 2012 prism set for basketball kind of blow up a little bit. And I am wondering, I do think that we could potentially see that with football this year. And especially with, I think, Joe Burrow, like, you know, I think this quarterback, I think these last 3 years are the quarterbacks we're going to be seeing for quite some time. So, and it's interesting when you look at drafts. This is maybe a conversation for another day, but like you look at drafts and you look at when they were drafted and you say, like, the weird thing I think that can happen with drafts is we can become very blinded by the fact that it's like a new opportunity, a new player. And if you look back at like previous basketball drafts, a lot of the stuff that people are saying about these players from 2014, 2015, 2016 are very similar to what people are saying about these 2019 rookies. So, like, I think, like, for football, and that's for basketball, but for football, we'll have Joe Burrow, you got Tua, you've got, like, a bunch of big-name quarterbacks that came out of this draft. And so maybe that's why they were looking at it, and they said, honestly, it could be the fact that they looked at the popularity of Mosaic basketball, and they said, well, it's growing in basketball, so let's launch a football product, but we're going to wait until maybe there is a really, really, really good draft class, which I guess, in my opinion, if they had launched it last year, that probably would have been some better timing. But I think this year also, there, like I said, there were some big names, so I think it's going to be a cool product. We'll see kind of what their launches are going forward, if they want to launch any new products or if they're going to expand older products. I think that'll be interesting. But that's basically all I've got for this episode today. So I want to thank everyone for listening. Go follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. There is a new YouTube video live right now, so if you want to go watch that, it's about baseball cards and which ones to buy. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.